Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here in the lovely World of Raccoons with me, Vanillaraccoon. Heyo! And in the previous episode, we went ahead and built from the ground up this medium-sized crop farm, and as you can tell, we are utilizing some top quality player heads that resemble grapes, tomatoes, and even ripe tomatoes. But let's go ahead and take a look at our to-do list for this episode. In it, it says build small crop farms and build a water well. Now, after spending the weekend walking around this village and transforming the pathway into our signature pathway that is composed of cobblestone and gravel, it occurred to me that this section of the village appears to be the designated farmland. Now, we do have a few crop farms over on the other side of these houses. However, for the most part, our crop farms are on this side of the houses and in this section of the entire village. And while I transform this village, I would like to do my best in preserving that. So in this episode, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to completely tear down this single crop farm right here, which should give us enough space to establish at least 2 small crop farms. And then what I'm going to do afterwards is I'm possibly going to remove one of these double crop farms that we have right here, and then in its place I'll either build a medium-sized crop farm that is fairly similar to the one that we built over there, or I may even go ahead and build one of my large scale crop farms that are that I already have designed in a separate world. But I think I'm going to go ahead and just begin to get my build on, and I'll bring it back when I'm ready to share the progress update with you all, and then even get my build on. So I'll be right back with you. 69 is an amazing number, and for a number of reasons. And if we were to pillar up, which I'm not going to do, but if we were to pillar up, then the outline of our small crop farms that you see just before us would look like the number 69. Just a little fun fact I'd like to share with you all before we get our build on. So as you can tell, we pretty much have something that looks fairly similar to what we have with our medium-sized crop farm. However, it's only a little small in size. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place down some soil blocks right here, and then I'm going to place my water down, and let's go ahead, take our iron hoe and begin to tilt the soil so it's ready to have some crops planted. And we're just going to go over here and gather enough potatoes so that we can then begin to grow them while we continue to get our build on, at this point though on camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my spruce wooden planks, my spruce stairs, and I'm going to just lay down the foundation right here. And also I'm going to have to grab some more spruce planks and then place them down right there. And then in this corner is where I'm going to place a crafting chest table, and then just above it is where I'll be placing a chest. And although the chest is just above the crafting chest table, I'll still be able to access it because there's that one little line of pixels that is from the crafting chest table that we're able to just right click on and access. And also, before I go any farther, I'd like to point out that this small crop farm right here is our normal design. This one over here is going to be an inverted design. So basically, I think what it would be called is we're just going to be reflecting or mirroring. Yeah, I think that's what it is. We're going to be mirroring what it is that we do over here for that one. Now, what I'm going to do at this point is actually, let's go ahead and just place down our torches on top of these dark oak logs, so that way even if it begins to be dusk while we're still getting our build on, we'll have a little light to provide some safety for us so that nothing that goes bump in the night will spawn nearby. And then we're just going to begin to place that down right there. And how about we just take our soil blocks and we place them in between these spruce fence posts, and then we'll begin to fill in the middle section of that ring that we just created with them. And do I have any spruce fence gates on me? I only have the 2. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do at this point, since Like I said, this small crop farm is pretty much going to be a smaller version of the one that we have over there. I'm just going to go ahead and lay down the roof, and then I'll bring it back when we're ready to begin construction on the inverted small crop farm. So I'll see you guys in a moment. Well, the first small crop farm has been established, and we even have the top quality player heads that we use for our medium-sized crop farm scattered around the bushes that are encasing it. Now, what I went ahead and did is I started to construct the inverted small crop farm, but then I stopped myself and I thought, you know what, how about we go ahead and show the viewers how I go about placing bushes. So we're currently facing the south side of the inverted small crop farm, and because this is visible from the pathway that we have right here, I don't want to place that many bushes down that could obstruct our view. So I think what I'll most likely do is just something like this, and then I'll place down another leaf block right there, and just so we can give it a little more decoration, I'm just going to remove that grass block and place a dark oak leaf block right there. And I think that's going to do it for this side. Now moving over to the southwestern side of things, we may go ahead and just place 2 bushes like that, and then if we want this space to be bare, we'll leave it as it is. However, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place a single dark oak leaf block right there, and then right here I'm just going to leave it as it is for now, because I don't want this build to brush up against this house right here, because I have yet to decide how I'm going to transform this village structure in itself. But moving on to the back side of things, to the north side of the inverted small crop farm, I'm going to just now begin to place them down like this, so we have a little walk space in scratch that, apparently we don't have any walk space. I'm going to just leave it so we have a small walk space up to this point right here, and then just so we can go ahead and have some leaf blocks back here, I'll place one in the ground once more like that. And if I were to place a leaf block right there, that would look a little odd, at least in my opinion, so that's why I'm just going to leave the one right there. And then just so I'll be able to actually, let's go ahead and remove this player head. Do I use an axe to break it, or do I use a pickaxe? I guess I'm using this, and now it's just going to say head. Okay then, well, just so then I can have a small walk space in between the 2 farms, I'm going to do something like that. And now I'm not entirely sure if I want to place any bushes down in this section right here. I may just leave it as it is. We may even place down a chest right here just for additional storage purposes in the event that that single chest right there and also right here isn't enough. Originally I was going to place a double chest in the back space just behind our 2 wide pathway right here, well, walkway right here, but then I thought, you know what, that really wouldn't look that interesting. I want this, because this is a farm after all, I wanted to have as much life encasing it as I can without overdoing it. And right now I'm just going to go ahead and continue to place down some more bushes like that, just so we can do as what I was saying, giving this a little more life than just having in-game crops and such, and utilizing the leaf blocks. But it looks like it's getting to be dusk, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to finish up the inverted small crop farm, and then we'll begin to tear down the double crop farm over there and establish a water well. So I'll be right back with you. Throughout my Minecraft career, I have come across a few mobs that have made me scratch my head. However, there are a few mobs that I've seen and at this point in time rarely ever come across anymore. This would be one of them. This is a spider that is invisible and also seems to have a potion effect going on due to the color of the particles. I think it may be a swiftness potion, however I'm not entirely sure, but I thought I would go ahead and just bring it back real quick to share you all that such a mob does exist to this day in Minecraft 1.11. 1.2. With the help from our canine companions, I was able to do a little more landscaping around the medium-sized crop farm that I had established in the previous episode, and I was even able to implement one small minor crucial piece of detail to it. But let's go ahead and take a look as to what we've done throughout this episode. Right here we used to have a single crop farm, and in its place is a new one that has a fair amount of bushes wrapped around it, and within those bushes we have various fruits growing from it. And then just beside it we used to have a double crop farm, but in its place is yet again another small crop farm. But just to give it a little lively look to it and some pieces of detail, we have luscious bushes wrapped around it that are growing nothing but prosperous pieces of fruit. And then just opposite from it we have another small crop farm, and the reason why we don't have any bushes wrapped around this is because I simply ran out of dark oak leaves and I didn't want to use any other types of leaf blocks to do the job. But right over here we have a pathway that leads from the main one, and this leads up to our well. Now if we just take a peek within the well, we can see that we have a mixture of stone brick stairs and slabs at the bottom and within the sides of the walls, so that way it applies a little depth and detail into our build. And just for the sake of variation, I went ahead and implemented little pieces of mossy stone brick blocks. Then branching off of this pathway right here, we have a small side pathway that leads to the other side of the well. So if we want to build anything else down the line in this portion of the village, then we at least have this part of the job already taken care of. But it's getting to be nightfall, and I think that's going to do it for this episode. I apologize if it was a little shorter than usual, but I wanted to get as much as I could done, both on and off camera, but at least on camera, provide as much building as I can, so that way you guys can walk away with a few building tips and tricks that you can use in your single player world or even on a server that you're playing on. But that's going to do it for this episode, and if you enjoyed it, then leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, then I invite you to check out the rest of it. But do not forget to turn on notifications when subscribing. That way you will then be notified when future Minecraft and other gameplay content is uploaded by yours truly, Vanillaraccoon. But I'd like to wish you all a happy day, and peace out.